Today's exercise demonstration is the plate ground to overhead. Now this exercise is very simplistic in nature, but please don't mistake that for being easy. It's actually a very challenging exercise once you get the pace and also the loading correct. So depending on the reps or duration that this exercise is prescribed for will determine how heavy you lift. So typically when the duration is low, the weight needs to be quite high or heavy relative to your strength level. So let's say you're doing ground to overhead for a minute. You might want to use a lighter plate. This is a 5 kilo plate. If you're doing, say, 15 seconds worth, you might want to use something that's a little bit heavier perhaps. And I've just illustrated that with a 20 kilo plate here, but I'll show you the difference between the two. So if you have a long set, if your set is 30 seconds, 40 seconds, or even a minute long, you're going to be out of breath by the end of it, and that's what it is designed to do. It's a very simple movement, but yeah, it's going to get your heart rate up and you're going to work a whole lot of muscle groups. So this is a whole body conditioning exercise. I will now demonstrate the plate ground to overhead using the 5, and then I'll show you with the heavier 20 kilos so you get an idea of how much effort needs to be applied. As the name indicates, we are taking this plate and it needs to go from the ground up overhead. Ground to overhead. And so forth. Couple key things we're looking for. Use your hips. This is a backwards forward movement. So this is hip dominant. We want to use and recruit the glutes as much as we possibly can to transfer that weight directly overhead. And the second thing you should notice as well is that my eyes follow the plate. 5 kilos, there's a lot of wiggle room. It's not very heavy for me. But now I transition to this large and quite thick plate. It's got a much thicker diameter than this little guy here. So I want to know where this plate is at all times, so I'm going to follow it with my eyes. If it is with a larger plate, you rotate your hands, palms facing forwards. From here, and so forth. So you can see I'm really having to recruit and engage as many muscle groups as possible. When the weight starts to go up, this is where you want to use as many muscle groups as possible. This isn't just a leg exercise, this isn't an arm exercise, this is a full body conditioning exercise. You will need to use all of your muscles and you will be out of breath. Even doing however many that was, I can feel my heart rate and my breathing rate have elevated. But there you have it guys, that is the plate ground to overhead.